Welcome to Table of Contents. We are here with our first guest, my dad.
Big B.
And what we're going to do is something interesting today. So we gave a book and me and Zack read it, and we watched the page to screen.
A little
that page
short, yeah.
Of it. And then we gave it to my dad, and we're going to see whether or not he actually read the short story or not by quizzing him and having discussion. So, are you ready for your quiz?
I am ready for the quiz.
Okay, so the book that we chose, or the short story that we chose, was Lamb to the Slaughter by
Roald Dahl.
Roald Dahl. Yeah. Okay, so first question. Why does Mary Maloney kill her husband?
Oh, if you talk to Sam the Butcher, he would probably say it's because he's a man on a mission. He's out there. I would think that maybe Mrs. Maloney being pregnant with child, he wasn't happy with that. He wanted more. He was going to leave her. No police pension. No, because he was a police officer, right? Yeah, so she wasn't going to get the pension. She wasn't going to get the pay.
Okay.
If you ask Sam the Butcher.
Sam the Butcher.
Sam the Butcher.
Okay. Do you want to ask that one?
Sure. Question 2. What does Mary use to kill her husband?
This is why Sam the Butcher is so important. She uses a lamb.
Yes, that is correct.
Purchased from Sam the Butcher.
Purchased. How does Mary react immediately after killing?
Oh, she's freaked out. She can't believe she did it. The whole thing was a blur to her by what she told Sam the Butcher. She went to go get potatoes and carrots and everything. She conked the guy on the back of the head with the leg of lamb, left him there, created her alibi, and then went back to the scene.
Okay.
Question 4. Why does Mary go to the grocery store after the murder?
To create her alibi. He got the potatoes and she got the vegetables.
Okay. And then last question is, what do the detectives unknowingly do?
They eat the murder weapon.
Which I thought was a good, funny.
It's a clever way to get rid of the evidence.
Yeah. Very clever.
It was gone.
Okay. So we're going to say what you read this.
How can you not read this one? It's only 4 pages.
Yeah.
It was the shortest of stories.
The short stories. So that's what the book is about, or the short story is about. This lady who kills her husband because he says he's going to leave her, and she has a crime of passion, I think is what
I think that would, yes.
Term. And she kills him with the first thing that she finds, which turns out to be a leg of lamb. And then she concocts this whole story of going to the grocery store to get her alibi, and then has his police friends,
his coworkers,
come and look for the investigation, and then go through finding out that they end up eating the murder weapon, and also the potatoes and the
other vegetables. The can of delicious meal. A delicious meal from Red Taste that.
A delicious meal. So I guess what we can do is we also have some discussion questions to go through. But you said you had discussion questions that you came up with.
I think I did some book report quality work here.
Oh, you do have notes.
So, Roald Dahl is the author of the story. Wrote it in 1953. He originally had submitted it to the New Yorker with 5 other stories, and they shot him down. But Harper's Magazine picked it up. And then 5 years later, Hitchcock Presents turns it into one of their shorts.
Mm-hmm.
Some things about Roald Dahl.
Okay, yeah.
Born September 13th, 1916, so just after the First World War.
Okay.
In Cardiff, Wales. He's a Brit. He's a Brit. Served in the Royal Air Force in World War II as a squadron leader, fighter ace.
Okay.
Now, he wrote this story and the 5 others, but he's best known for his children's literature with Zack. Knowing Kate, you've got to be able to pick the one of them. You would have to be like, oh yeah, that's it. One of Kate's favorite movies. Do you know the list?
One of my favorite.
One of your favorite movies. Lizzie, I wrote it.
I believe in you.
There's
Now,
Crush.
he did write James and the Giant Peach.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
one.
But what's the most famous one?
Matilda he wrote.
Okay.
Okay, the most famous one.
We live in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
What did he do? He did not. He didn't. I don't want to say this.
You just say it.
No, he did really.
No, he did Charlie and the
The book was called Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah. And then Willy Wonka was,
Yes, but the book was Charlie and the Chocolate. Yes. But he's the one that wrote it.
No.
Now,
No.
that probably leads into the fact that I'm going to stop with, and you can go ahead and bring up some questions. But in 2009, not 2009, 2021, even closer to now, he is the top ranked earning dead celebrity.
Like of all dead celebrities.
Of all the dead celebrities, he is the top earning dead celebrity as of 2021.
Wow.
So,
Go peek
there's some of my
to the books.
Charlie the Choco.
Charlie and the Choco.
Huh?
That is interesting.
Oompa Loompa.
Okay, so mine are like really in-depth questions.
Okay.
Okay, so here's one. So do we think that Mary gets away with this murder because of luck, intelligence, or both? Because I do have my own opinion on this one.
Okay. I'd say I think it's more intelligence.
You think it's more intelligence?
Yes. And there's a little bit of luck. I think it's more intelligence.
Both luck and intelligence.
Yeah.
Smart enough to do away with the murder weapon. Lucky enough that nobody else is like frozen like a lamb. Sam doesn't know any of the cops.
Yeah.
Unknowingly sells their weapon.
That's
Well, because I think you think that the detectives would be more invested in this investigation.
well, they were there for hours.
Yes, but they were also like very kind of nonchalant about the whole thing.
Versus today's police that would have been like major task force. One of theirs is down, and yeah.
They're very nonchalant about it. And then because they know them and her,
They let their guard down.
it totally goes over their head that she will have been the one to do it.
Well, they talk about her a little bit. They discuss the fact that she's a little promiscuous at one time, and then it had to be somebody that he trusted, somebody he knew.
Yeah, so they do come to that conclusion, but they don't like
Never suspect
really,
her.
Yeah, they never suspect her to like do it.
Well, they also said it needed to be a big, hefty weapon to cave his skull and like that, as they pull out the big, hefty lamb leg out of the oven. And they
Weighs about 9 pounds, he said.
So how does Dahl build suspense throughout this story? Because it is like on the shorter side, but it is also like a classic.
He builds suspense by the little bit of lead up. There's not a whole lot there. It's just she's with child, he's gonna leave, and the murder.
Yeah, like there's
I think there was a tiny bit added when like she slowly, piece by piece, got more and more worried when like he wouldn't like take his normal dinner or want to go out to eat it all, or he chugged his whiskey. Like she first was telling me when he chugged his whiskey, he usually sips it, and he poured a second one right away that was all whiskey, no soda water to water it down. He chugged that one down too, and then she stood up and he said, "Sit down," and she got more nervous until he basically said, "I'm leaving you." But said, "I'll pay for everything. Don't worry about it. You'll be whatever he said. I'll keep paying for you, or you don't have to worry about it. Just don't make a fuss."
Which I guess, like for the time, that was like the expected.
I guess.
I don't know, or the nice thing to do because
late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah.
Time frame.
That a woman is definitely on the bad end of the deal in all of that in that time.
Yeah.
So this question, which I just realized because I was just so focused on reading it, is this written in the third person?
Oh yeah.
So we don't get any of the characters' internal.
Right.
Only hers.
Well, yeah, but it says like Mary thinks. Mary
Yeah. That's someone.
There's a little bit of
omnipotent narrator.
Yeah, omnipotent. So like the narrator knows everything, and the narrator knows all of the thoughts that these characters are having, but we don't get to know like the internal rest of it. So if it had been written from Mary's perspective or Patrick's perspective, which I'm blanking on who that character is, which I feel like is so...
Patrick would be the dead man.
He's the dead.
He's the husband.
Mr. Patrick.
I think the story would have ended 2 pages earlier. Unless they could be a dead narrator, and then
Yes.
Well, no. Or if it had been from his perspective, maybe we would have gotten more background story on why he was
doing yes.
Because even she speculates, like the narrator speculates on why.
Yeah.
But we never actually get a reason. He just
solid reason.
leaving you, get over it.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Then just comes home one day. Yeah, and
just.
Although in the short movie, didn't one of the cops whisper to each other like kind of like he liked to sleep around, or he used to.
Thinking about her or him?
During the short, they were speaking of her.
Was it her?
Yeah.
In the read, it is said that he is the one that is more of the promiscuous.
So maybe he wanted to trade in for another model, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, because then that's one of the next questions is, how does Hitchcock's interpretation or adaptation differ from the original story? So that's definitely one of the elements.
I don't think you ever see her actually go to the store either in the short.
No, but also the part that Dad pointed out was you don't see the whole short on the clip that I found.
That must be because...
Here we go.
It's part of his Roald Dahl. He then goes on in Britain to make Tales of the Unexpected, another Hitchcock-esque style of show in Britain, and he does one called basically it's the same one. Someone Like You is what he calls it in that one, in the Tales of the Unexpected, 2009. So then it goes on to, he's also been done 1984 as a movie by Pedro Almodovar, or Almodovar. What have I done to deserve this? Only the woman uses a leg of mutton, which is it's in Seinfeld, goat. Leg of goat instead of a leg of a lamb.
That's the episode of Wild Dogs.
Yes. With the fancy napkins.
And they play. That's such a good TV.
But that's why you only get bits of it, because I think they still have the copyrights for all of it. I think because everything else on all the media joints that I checked, it's either not even available, it skips right over it in episode numbers. Like it's season 3, episode 28. It just goes 27, 29. 28 is unavailable.
Oh.
On every media platform. So the fact that we only got just a snippet on the YouTube, explains why. Well, I think explains why. My own conspiracy theory. You heard it here first. On Table of Contents. Giant conspiracy in the TV land.
TV land.
We're of course, how many years too late from 1958?
That's too much.
Almost 100 years. The British. 75 years behind. But that's why.
Okay. What, so only, I guess British TV and...
I guess maybe if we looked it up under Tales of the Unexpected, we might be able to find
the whole thing.
Someone subscribe to Brit Box real quick. And
okay, so do we feel one of the things that we can get from this is, like the Hitchcock's adaptation, is do we think the performances effectively captured the characters and, like, added depth and made the characters' personalities, like, page to screen?
The Missus, I think, was done very well. A little psychopathic, a little,
but eerily calm.
Yes, very right. Eerily calm, sat still, wasn't pacing, freaking out. None of this. All just, if he was here today, he'd want me to feed you dinner because, you're trying to help me. Eat up.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And then the like switch to like creepy laughter as they finish eating.
At the end.
It was out.
I think it's right here underneath our noses. And she shoots the lady and she's...
Yeah, that's... Was there any particular shots, angles, or lighting choices that we found interesting? I'm going to be honest. I did not pay attention to any of those things. Had I been in my film class that I took in college, I would have paid more attention to that. I will say, I was reading the comments to the video, and somebody commented that one of the things that they most remember about this short was the shot of the shadow of her actually beating her husband with the frozen leg of lamb.
Hitchcock always has something like that in there.
Yes.
Most of the lighting because I read the same comment, diligently doing my schoolwork. I saw this and I thought, I got to go back and see this. So I go back and I watched the short 3 times, rewinding it's not in there. And that's what drew me into, okay, well, why am I not seeing this?
Maybe he was commenting on the whole short. Like maybe
it has to be in the full episode. Yeah. Because we only see 9 minutes. Every other episode is 20 minutes long.
Yes.
So we've missed the first half, which has to be there.
Because it didn't even show him coming home from work. Started with
straight to investigate.
Once the police come, she's heard the news, she snapped, she's bludgeoned him to death, she's gone to the market, and here they are, the police, she's called the police.
Yeah.
That's where we pick up. And all of the lighting from that point on is so direct that there is absolutely no shadows throughout the entire shooting. So the fact that Hitchcock at one point had put that in there was the only shadows in the entire story.
Well, little Alfred Hitchcock fact. Last question.
Oh gosh.
Since most of his movies were black and white, like The Short was in the day, he had to find a way to do special effects that made it look good. Because sometimes when he would use like the real color on black and white, it didn't look right.
Yeah.
So he would use other stuff to make it look better in black and white.
Okay.
He pioneered a technique, which I don't know if he would have seen it in the full Short. I don't know how much it would have shown it, her beating his skull in.
Yeah.
But he pioneered a way to get realistic blood in black and white movies. I think he first did it on the movie Psycho. Do you know what he used for blood?
Was it jelly or something?
Nope.
I have no idea.
Good old-fashioned Hershey's syrup.
Hershey's chocolate, huh?
Yeah. Yes. When you get stabbed in the shower and the water running the blood down the drain, it's a bunch of Hershey's syrup that was squirted in the tub and is
probably the easiest, most readily available liquid.
It had the thickness and the dark color that in black and white looked like blood splatter.
That is interesting. How do we feel like he maintains the story's dark humor while still delivering like suspense? Because I'm gonna be honest, I was not impressed with the acting.
Yeah. It's very basic, very simple. Is he trying to make the cops look a little bit goofy? As far as, you guys go and search the entire garden for a metal pole, a metal vase, all of these basic things. And they're like, okay, boss. And off they go. And he continues on with her about, what the different types of, what is it? What could it possibly be? What are the types of weapons that they could use? So he lists all these items and she's just like, I don't know what's all in the house. I can't remember. And then when you forward up to where they're eating, they're just all like, yeah, this is great. And maybe just giving them a little bit more of a small town police department over top of like some, definitely some Sherlock Holmes investigative style guys that would have, maybe put it all together.
Yeah. Yeah, and who knows, we might have missed some dark humor in the earlier parts. I think one piece of dark humor that did make it through was the line where it's like, who knows, the weapon could be right under our nose, as the food is right under their noses.
Yes, sir.
I think it's in the short, the video, but the one guy who shouts out to Mary in the living room, "Oh, you missed a good meal." I think he's the same guy who says, he's going to eat this, like, thick, bloody, grizzled part at the end.
Oh, yeah, the part that would have hit him in the
head. That, and when she starts laughing, like, it plays, like, cartoony wackadoo music.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it goes, like...
That was... Like added more to the psychological.
Yeah, like it shows her going like
freaky.
Yeah, like she starts laughing and
hysterically.
Yeah,
a hysterical laughter.
Yeah, somehow the cops don't hear that part either. She's like one room over, but she's like.
I think they would have immediately assumed that she was crazy psycho.
Yes, a distressed wife with the hysteria.
With hysteria,
she's come down with the hysteria.
Yeah, but she wouldn't have ended up in a different kind of jail. So that time period for
as you may bring up that time period, jail and pregnant women. Huh?
Okay.
Noting that their rights are not what they were today. Either way, we had a question brought up in the reading.
Oh.
Where'd it go? In the reading, here we go, an entire paragraph dedicated to. It's just after she's killed him, because it says, all right, she told herself, so I've killed him.
Oh, yeah, very funny, matter of fact.
It was extraordinary. Now, how clear her mind became all of a sudden. She began thinking very fast. As a wife of a detective, she knew that what the punishment would be. It's gonna be pretty serious, and she killed a cop. It made no difference to her. In fact, it would be a relief. On the other hand, what about the baby? What were the laws about murderers with unborn children? Do they kill them both? Mother and child? Did they wait until the baby was born? What did they do? Mary Maloney didn't know, and she was prepared to take a chance. I Googled it.
Okay.
If you're lucky enough to get into a prison with the circuit, with the stuff, with the means of it, you can become a maternity ward prison, and you're there till your baby is born. You get to take care of your baby for they say about 18 months. Then it becomes, another family member. If you are shortlisted as far as getting out, you may be able to extend your stay there until you're actually out of the prison. But other than that, for the most part, at that time, you gave birth to your baby was given to your next of kin or ward of the state.
Yeah.
And you just went right in the regular prison population, and that was the end of it.
Interesting. So that's kind of like how it's run now. It's like they have that TV show that covers pregnant women in prison, and they have like special jail cell rooms that are big enough to hold like bibs and stuff.
Right.
Oh,
And keep them for so long, and then they go to like the next.
I know there's a film.
About 18 months they get.
So there's a show for everything.
They do have a show for everything, for sure. Anything else that we found interesting, or any other interesting facts that we have or no?
I did my homework on the back of your little sister's homework.
That's okay, I'm sure.
She does quite well.
She does do that. She too could be a guest on the.
Well, I guess it's lucky the first thing she grabbed was big leg of lamb, because it said she went down to the basement and just numbly felt for the first thing in the freezer.
I feel that's
something. Yeah, I guess a movie. And this is a parenthesized, very small tidbit leads into finding the right weapon. Okay, guess who suggested this story? Well, I guess he suggested this story be given to a writer. Well, not so much. The writer had it, and this guy said, "Hey, you really ought to turn that into a TV or a movie or something like to that point. Change the media on it." A very popular writer, lots of strange weapons. He has gone from, this character has spanned the test of time from Sean Connery to Timothy Dalton.
Oh, okay. Ian Fleming?
Ian Fleming, yes. James Bond.
All of the James Bond novels.
So that was the guy who suggested.
It said that this guy should turn it into a TV show.
Interesting.
Oh, so I've never seen James Bond use a leg of lamb.
Another member of the British.
Another Brit.
You hold up two different legs. Either like lamb or
Mutton, boyish.
take it back to the stand.
Nothing like a mutton to the back of the skull, I tell you.
I like it rare. Medium rare.
Okay. And I think that's where.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably going to stop the table of contents this evening with Sean Connery and a mutton. Yours.
Well, okay, so at the end of each video, we've decided that we're going to talk about the books or give like a short of what we're reading currently.
Oh, yes.
So what are you?
I'm currently in the process of finishing up On Birthday, which is the twisted tale I mentioned at the end of our last episode that deals with what if Alice was late to arriving at Never Wonderland.
And I am about to start a Tessa Bailey book. We all know I love her. The Au Pair Affair, which is about this babysitter who ends up dating the dad of the kid that she's the live-in nanny.
The au pair. She is the au pair. Au pair.
And is the dad married?
No. Is there anything that you are interested in picking up?
Waiting for my next homework assignment.
Next homework assignment. Okay. We will figure out what
We might expand beyond 4-page
yes.
novel.
Expand beyond a 4-page short story. That is for sure. Well, would you like to do our end slogan?
Okay. Well, we checked out some books, and we'll check you out next time.